Hey everyone, Jim Branscombe from Cinemadness here, back once again for another edition of In the Mouth of Cinemadness. I'm committed to this shtick, so I guess I gotta stick with it. Anyway, this is a sub-series of the Cinematic Void vlog where I talk about a bunch of different movies or TV shows or just life events or cool shit I saw as a kid that all went into a blender and basically made a Cinematic Void smoothie that we all enjoy now. I don't know why I'm doing a smoothie metaphor, but whatever. For this episode, I'm going to be doing another zombie film. Yeah, I know, there's tons of zombie movies already talked about in this series, plus a top 10 zombie list, but this really isn't about the movie itself. It's more about the chase and being able to see it, and that movie is 1980's City of the Living Dead, aka The Gates of Hell, directed by Lucio Fulci. My introduction to Lucio Fulci was how most people were introduced to him, which is by seeing Zombie, aka Zombie 2, aka Zombie Flesh Eaters. There was a copy at my local video store, and I had heard about the infamous eye poke, and of course, I rented it. And, you know, I thought the movie was a little bit of a slow burn, but I thought the effects and the gore and that kind of stuff was great. And plus, you get a zombie versus shark fight. Who doesn't love that? And of course, after seeing that and kind of learning that a lot of Fulci's movies were super gory and being into gory shit because I was a teenager, I definitely sought out a lot of his movies. And at the same video store that they had a copy of Zombie, they had a placeholder, or the VHS box, for Gates of Hell. And I knew it was another Fulci zombie movie, so it was a must-see. However, there was no rental VHS of it. So I would go back, weekly, just waiting to see if this VHS would ever, be returned so I could rent it and finally see it. My guess is either A, someone stole it, or B, they sold the VHS and didn't replace it or give up the box for whatever reason. So it was just always this empty Gates of Hell box sitting there taunting me. And honestly, I had a lot of other things that I was going out of my way to see. I got a bootleg copy of Lucio Fulci's Beyond the Sea. I also was able to rent House by the Cemetery because they had Zombie, they had House by the Cemetery, but never had a copy of Gates of Hell. And at the time, being a cinephile and, wanting to collect and see stuff, I got this obsession that I wanted to get a Laserdisc player. And I, for whatever reason, didn't know how to go about getting one. I mean, they weren't really available at most conventional stores. And the reason why I wanted a Laserdisc player is because of all the cool movies, all the cool Japanese Laserdiscs. Not that I could probably afford all that stuff, but I really want to see it. And as if it was a dream, one day I was at a flea market and I was perusing and I went by a table that actually had a Laserdisc player for sale, and it was relatively cheap. And they had a bunch of Laserdiscs, and I'm going through and holy shit, wouldn't you know, there was a copy of City of the Living Dead, aka Gates of Hell, on Laserdisc. So I bought them both, and then I woke up. And when I woke up, I was like, wow, I really can't believe I got a Laserdisc player and Gates of Hell. I can't wait to watch it. And as I got out of bed, I realized something. It was a dream. I didn't actually go to a flea market and buy a Laserdisc player or the Gates of Hell. I had a lucid dream about me doing that. And, I feel like when you're lucid dreaming, you should be doing more important things or manifesting different stuff. No, I'm just a dumbass fucking teenager, having a very vivid lucid dream about going to a flea market and buying a Laserdisc player and getting Gates of Hell on Laserdisc. And I was so bummed that day. It's just like this thing that I wanted so bad and I thought I had didn't exist because I fucking dreamt it like a weirdo. Eventually I got to see Gates of Hell, and it was, probably the best way possible. I saw a 35mm print thanks to Exhume Films. And while I love the gore and some of the weirdness of it, it was the one Fulci movie out of the 4 zombie movies that just didn't grab me in the same way. I thought it was good, but I guess compared to the Beyond, I wanted something more weirder, or just, I don't know what I was looking for. I mean, the fucking power drill scene to John Morgan's skull is really cool, and puking up guts and all, it's good. I actually liked it a lot, but at the time, I think because I had built up this thing about seeing this movie and it was the one I hadn't seen, my expectations got a little too high, and then when I saw the movie, just, didn't quite land. But I like it a lot now. I appreciate what it is, but this was one of those movies where it's just it was more about the chase than actually seeing it. And then once I was able to see it, it was like, huh, that's it. Not that I'm dismissing the movie. I think it's great. There's Fulci didn't make a bad zombie movie. But yeah, that's how I saw Gates of Hell. Tell me about the first time you saw Gates of Hell. Was it through lucid dreaming, or did your video store just actually have it in stock because you can rent it? Or did you get the early Anchor Bay DVD or Blue Underground DVD, Blu-ray, that kind of stuff? Before I wrap up, I should mention I actually worked on a featurette for one of the Blue Underground editions of Gates of Hell. It was an interview with John Morgan. The guy gets the power drill through his head and has all kinds of horrendous things happen to him in various Italian horror and exploitation movies. We went and had dinner with him afterwards, and we went to this restaurant, and I remember we got this soup, and it was like a monkfish soup, and I didn't like it at all. And I remember John Morgan say, like, could I try your soup? And it's like, sure, guy from Gates of Hell, you can try my soup. And he starts taking a spoonful of my soup, and he's like, oh, this is really good. Can I just have your soup? I'm like, yes. So maybe the moral story is that all these years later, John Morgan from Gates of Hell ate my soup. So that's actually going to wrap up this edition of In the Mouth of Cinemadness. Again, tell me about the first time you saw Gates of Hell, City of the Living Dead, whatever title you want to call it by. Doesn't matter. It's still a cool movie. Until next time, see you in the void. Wow.